Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 5. We are over here with the community quest vendor because it's time to have a look at this week's community quest. So if we have a look here, we are working together to defeat 50,000 Rawbones. So if I have a look in here, you can see there's still already lots and lots of people with lots and lots of these guys defeated. And we have a look in the milestones. I haven't done much of this yet, as you can see. So we'll get to the rewards at the end of the episode. But in here, the progression is pretty standard, but the things to note are the Gold Skull Sigil and the Bone Breaker Title Scroll, which are the two new things for this week, which should be quite awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about where you're going to find the most raw bones in this game. So if we have a look in my inventory, I've got a few different keystones here, as per usual. So, you can go out, and what you really want to do in finding these raw bones is find a really long adventure. Something where by the time you've run all the way through, everything is respawned so you can run all the way back out to the front again and just keep running back and forth and killing things over and over again. And that is how people who are at the top are getting these high numbers, is because they're literally just focusing on one adventure with huge numbers of raw bones in them, and they are just running back and forth all the time and spending a couple of hours doing this and getting those very large numbers that you can see there. So some good places to do this are a Dark Cragstone Depths or the Maze Keystone. Now, the ones I want to kind of give a bit of caution for, though, because these are good, and the maze is really good. It's got a lot of raw bones spawn in it. The only problem with the maze is that it also spawns in a very high number of rawbone brutes, which are the really big guys with the big weapons. Now, these guys take a long time to take down as compared to a standard rawbone drudge, and they only offer one more point. So personally, I wouldn't run a maze to do this, because you're spending too much time and effort killing off those rawbone brutes. The Cragstone is actually not a bad one. A lot of the Cragstones will spawn lots of drudges and knaves and things in, which are going to be fine to kill off with no real problems. The only thing is that being a dark, there is still that possibility of having a brute spawn somewhere along the line, and then you have to kill that guy and it takes up more time. So you can do that. I would probably lean towards doing that, and just ignore any brutes that kind of spawn in. The other way you can go is to go to a medium sunken temple. We've spoken about sunken temples before, because of course there is a rawbone summoner at the end there, and we had a tutorial on one of those. The only thing you would need to do with these is to dig down past the water sections of the level, so you can run back and forth in that sunken temple quickly and easily without having to worry about swimming all the way through. And then finally, I don't actually have a keystone for it, but there is the tomb as well, the warrior's tomb. Now this does spawn sometimes with a guardian liger at the end, but in other cases it will spawn with skeletons and a skeleton at the end of it. So basically like I said, any long level with skeletons spawned inside is really what you're after. This does also include the mine, which can spawn with skeletons, as we saw last time. We saw the mine last time, I should say, and then also the village crypt can sometimes spawn with skeletons, I'm pretty sure. So anything like that is what you're after. And then, as with the last time we were killing lots and lots of things, what you want to do is block off that boss area and just avoid killing any bosses that you come across. Because, once again, they do count towards the quest, but they just take up way too much of your time. So right now we're going to head over into a Dark Cragstone, or maybe a couple of Dark Cragstones, until I can get the skeletons, and then we'll see what it is like running this, and then we'll go through and look at all of the rewards for this week's quest. So I ran through all of the keystones that I had for a Cragstone Depth, and I couldn't actually get a Cragstone Depth with raw bones in it. So that's why I've come here to the Sunken Temple, which is one of the places that I don't think actually spawns anything other than the raw bones. At least I haven't seen it. So it is a good spot to get a whole bunch of raw bones. Now, there was a few little tips that I was going to give you for running through these places and kind of making them a little bit safer for you and a little bit easier to run through. So if we have a look at my inventory, I've got some skystone in here. So my advice would be to bar off all of the doorways, just like this, so that each time you come into a room, you're literally just fighting the 2 or 3 enemies that have spawned inside that room, and you're not going to get mobbed by everything that is, in connecting corridors and connecting rooms. And of course, the final thing that I would say is to break out any and all kind of things that are just floating around in the middle of the room here as well, because this way you've got a nice little passageway that you can run through and you don't have to worry about tripping over items or anything like that. So yeah, like to keep going and barring off all the doorways and things. It's a little bit, some people don't like doing it for adventures and adventuring, but realistically when you're in here and you're attempting to kill just as many Rawbones as you can, this is more about setting up a farm more than anything else. So these type of things are just a nice way of controlling where these mobs go and what they do and all that kind of stuff. So this type of thing you could do here and in the Cragstone and in the Village Crypt, all of those type of places you could put up these little bars and it just kind of segments off where everything spawns for you so you can do some nice and easy farming. The final thing here, of course, is to work out the waterway. So we'll get down to a waterway and I'll show you how to do that. And here we are at the water, so all we want to do in this case is, so that we don't have to swim through this thing every single time, because of course we're going to be going back and forth quite a lot in this adventure. We just want to kind of knock out the wall a little bit, even go one down here, and then we can walk across here just like this. And in this case it looks like we've chosen the right wall, because as you can see there's kind of curves around this way. So now if we just stand back here and keep going this way with this, we're actually going to get where we need to go for this adventure. So this is perfect. So like I said, I'm going to clear this place out a little bit and we'll keep going through. Finally, the rewards for this quest. So the first level is 20 kills and it is 100 knots, and then the second level, which I've already passed, is 40 kills at 100 knots and 10 aquanite ore. The third level we've got 200 knots, 10 aquanite ore and 8 sunsteel plates for 60 kills. So I'm going to hazard a guess that the next level is going to be 80 kills and then 100 kills. But let's take a look at what those are. And as always, the last quest gives you the silver skull sigil and removes the last 2 rewards that you would get off of your quest. And as I said, 80 and 100 kills to get all the way to the top here. So that is it for this week, and I'll see you next time.